Hi there, bass players. This is Mr. Leonard-White. I'm going to go over unbagging your bass and getting it ready for those first open string notes today. So, you probably have your bass in front of you in a big old bag. There should be a bow in the bag. You can either leave that right in the case or you can set it off to the side. Just make sure that we don't throw the bag once it's empty and something gets broken. You should be able to feel around in the pockets and find one of these, a rock stop. That rock stop can go on your tile floor to make sure that you do not slide all around with your bass when you're playing. Alright? So with your bass, depending on the case, it's easiest to put it on its side. And once you put it on its side, you can unzip that case. Okay? And there sometimes are holes in the bottom of the case that you're going to want to pull that end pin out of. Just be gentle with getting that bass out of its case. These can be very big instruments. I'd like to review the parts of your bass starting at the very top. This is the scroll. You have your pegs, which are a little bit different than violin and viola pegs. They are geared. They are made out of metal. All right, for your 4 strings, that still goes into the peg box, over the nut, and down the fingerboard. You can see this big black piece of wood is called the fingerboard. The neck is what that is glued to. The shoulders of your instrument slope off to each side. And then down here at the bottom, which is out of my frame, so I'm going to pick this bass up. Don't try this at home. That white little bit is your bridge. My hand is in the C bouts. You can see the F holes. Down at the bottom is the tailpiece, and holding the tailpiece is the end pin. So while that bass is on its side, go ahead and loosen the end pin just a little bit so that you can pull it out, and you want your bass to stand right about at eye level. My end pin is out just enough so that the nut is right at my forehead. Okay, that nut where the strings are coming out, because those finger tapes should start right about at your eye level, just so we can double check them, which obviously we don't want to do too often. To hold your bass, we're going to bring the flat part up against our bellies, and that left leg goes just behind the back corner. Okay? So the bass is almost standing up straight. If we stand it up too straight, it's not going to be able to lean against us. We want to lean it just a little bit into us. Flat part against our belly. Knee behind. And you should be able to let it go. Granted, I don't think my belly likes... Oh, there we go. The bass wants to lean on you. You don't want to hold your bass. Okay, your left hand is not going to be up to hold it back and forth, right? That's why it leans against us. Okay, so left hand right now, let's just put it around on the shoulder. It's like we're pals. Yeah, me and the bass, we're pals. So, hand on the shoulder, and with my right hand, I'm going to find that fingerboard, and I'm going to be able to play my open strings. Okay, so now the bass is actually really neat because it has all the same strings as the violin, 1,000 times lower. Not an actual 1,000, but it's pretty low. And they're inverted. So instead of its highest note being E, its lowest note. Our lowest note is E. And then up from E, we have A. Up from A, we have D. And then our highest note is G. All right? So in class, we play a little song and a little game, and we chant along. It's a nice way to remember your strings, and we just need to remember on the bass that we're going to start with that low string and go to the high string. So our lowest string is E, and that's going to stand for each and every ant. A, digging in the dirt. D, underneath the ground. G. All right? So 3 of each note. You play along with me, and I'm going to say it. I'd like you to say it too. but it's a lot at once. So we're going to start with E, and we're going to do 3 of them. Ready, set, here we go. And each and every and digging in the dirt, underneath the ground, all the way to China. That's another instrument that we don't need to worry about. Okay, the violas and the cellos have a C string, but we do not. So we're going to start on that E again. I'd like you to definitely try to play and say with me, just so that we are locking those string names into our brain. Here we go. Ready, set, and here we play. And each and every and digging in the dirt, underneath the ground, all the way to China. All right, so my bass is still leaning up against me. I've got my knee just slightly behind it, and my left hand is just resting on the shoulder, okay? So that the bass isn't going anywhere, and I'm standing and I'm ready to play. So, I'd like you to practice those open strings, memorize which string is which, because when we start putting fingers down, then we're gonna have to know which string we're on. All right, so keep practicing those open strings. Make sure that you put your end pin in the bass before you pack it up, because it can easily get caught on things. And practice hard. Have a good day. Bye.